Ah, dang, I need a background. Let's fix that real fast. Let's fix this. Ooh. Let us go with... This seems nice. Oh, I don't want it... Well, do I want it animated? Hmm. Maybe I just want it... This. Where is... Nope. Ooh. There it is. Bang. Okay, now we'll just put this in the back. Okay, there. Better. Looks better. All right, let's kick it. Let's kick it. What's good, gamers? What's good? My name is Dr. Ryan Twelve, Psych Sensei. Welcome to the stream, baby. Today we'll be reading a little bit about shooting, accuracy, mindfulness, or meditation, and how does it affect it? Does it actually help you or not? As always, this stream is for all of you. So if you guys want to talk about something else in gaming and stuff, if you want to complain about Discord and Discord support not helping you, join the club, baby. But yeah, if you want to learn more about me, please visit my website, psychsensei.com, or check out my YouTube channel or my LinkedIn. LinkedIn. Check out my YouTube channel, my Instagram, or my TikToks. You always find fun stuff. I'm still editing things to put up there. But I try to post some stuff every single day. So check that stuff out. But I hope everyone's doing well. And please ask me questions. Please. But if not, let's get nerdy together. Okay. Follow or B Square. Actually, shout out to Dr. Jeeves, man. This whole mindfulness kick has been in dedication to you, my friend. You sent me on this rabbit hole, and it's been fascinating. It's been also fascinating to see how they define mindfulness and what mindfulness means to these people writing articles. All right, so today's article is called Enhancing Shooting Performance and Cognitive Engagement in Virtual Reality Environments Through Brief Meditation Training. This is by Gao Zhou, Huang Hu, Xing Liu, and Zhang. I'm on work break and I'm hella excited for this. Hell yeah, brother. That's what we're here for. Okay. This study was done in 2025, so pretty recently, and I believe what university is this coming out of? I'm gonna guess somewhere in China. So you can take that shit to the bank. All right. Let's see. Is the... Oh, interesting. Let's properties this. Yeah. Okay, we have fire. We got fire. All right. Let's turn this down a little bit. All right. All right, can we see that? Is that too small, my friends? Nah, she's good, right? She's good. She's good. This is more for me than for you guys anyway. Okay. Psychological interventions are increasingly recognized for their role in optimizing athletic performance. Among these, mindfulness meditation has emerged over the past decade as a valuable practice for enhancing sports-related mental abilities. I like this. They are switching or they're trying to apply sports psychology to esports psychology. Oftentimes, like, sometimes they do crossover, sometimes they don't. So, let's see. All right. Defined as a mental discipline involving focused attention, present moment awareness, and non-judgmental stance, mindfulness training strengthens athletes' ability to regulate attention and maintain focus on task-relevant cues. All right, we love a good definition. Honestly, and the way that I think about mindfulness in general is your ability to be aware and present in this moment and remain focused. Like they said, remain focused on task relevant cues. So how present are you when you're doing the thing? I mean, right? You're being mindful, right? This is particularly crucial in precision sports like shooting, where high cognitive engagement, sustained allocation of mental resources to relevant tasks is essential for maintaining accuracy under pressure. Yes. I think people think that, like, shooting is really easy or just gotta click, but, like, there's a lot of things that go into, like, accuracy or prediction in shooting in general. And I think, like, it's really cool because I feel like the translation from, like, shooting, like, a rifle to, like, clicking your mouse, it's, like, very comparable. Because also it's, like, it's not a really heavy, like, physical thing where you're, like, holding a gun. You have to, maybe that's, like, Winter Olympics, so like, ski and then shoot, you know what I mean? Maybe you're incorporating more of your body and, like, more things. But if you're really just sitting at your computer and then clicking versus, like, trying to aim at a target and shooting, kind of like the regular Olympics where they have that, like, air pistol, same kind of thing. Not very heavily based on your body, more cognitive accuracy, fine motor skills. So I can see it's a nice little one-to-one. All right, recent studies have further revealed the positive impact of mindfulness training on the cognitive functions of shooting athletes. According to the study by Boo, dude, what a last name, Boo et al., elite shooters demonstrated improved attention following a mindfulness training program. Okay, well, let's talk about this program. Additionally, researchers found that mindfulness training for 5 to 8 weeks enhanced the orientation and conflict control networks of elite shooters and archers. Bro, you know the other crazy thing? Even though this seems like a really long period of time, 5 to 8 weeks, I bet you the training was only like 5 to 10, 20 minutes max. Just consistently over 5 to 8 weeks. That's what I'm guessing. Dude, honestly, like Majin, like Boo, like the Majin. Yeah. Or like, can you imagine, like, all the other things that they could have, like, played off of in college? Like, ooh, I want you to be my boo. Come on. But not to be confused with Woo et al. Discovered that a 4-week mindfulness-based intervention, MBI, improved shooting performance, multiple cognitive functions, and mindfulness levels in archers. So, in conclusion, you know, honestly, I really have not seen, honestly, and maybe that's just a research bias, I really have not seen mindfulness not work. Like, there has been, literally, I've not seen it just in the Google searches, Google Scholars or whatever. I've never seen, like, something like mindfulness decreases performance. I've never seen that title. If you find that title, show it to me. I'd love to read it and go over it. But I have yet to find it. Dude, honestly, 5 to 10, 20 minutes training is usually plenty. Yeah. It literally always works. And that's the weird thing, right? I'm not a man of absolutes. But absolutely, it seems to always work. Seems to. Yeah, dude, honestly, if you want to start with 3 minutes, or 2 minutes or a minute, just that I think would be a great start. And I think you would see, like, results over a week. Guaranteed. All right, these findings highlight the role of mindfulness in enhancing not only cognitive engagement, but also sport-specific performance, such as accuracy, consistency in shooting. And consistency in shooting. However, we got a follow. Like, what's that noise? Woo, follow. Thanks for the follow, baby. Welcome to the stream. Fafira? Fafira? Fafira. We're going with that. All right. Welcome to the stream, baby. Welcome to the fam. All right. However, most previous studies have focused on highly trained or elite athletes, leaving a significant gap in understanding how mindfulness affects novices. That's us. That's us. We're novices. Elite athletes typically have well developed attentional control and cognitive engagement strategies, which may interact with mindfulness training in ways that do not directly translate to beginners. Novice athletes, on the other hand, often struggle with maintaining focus, filtering distractions, and executing precise motor actions under pressure. We do be doing that. We do be doing that. Okay. Uh, Investigating whether mindfulness can provide similar cognitive and performance benefits for beginners is crucial, as they may require different training approaches compared to elite athletes. I can see that. I can see that. There's another, like, from last week's study too, the biggest thing that I think novice athletes have trouble with is actually, like, sitting down and doing it or finding it helpful and not boring. I think that's the biggest barrier that multiple studies have, like, cited, or at least last week's studies cited, is like this starting. 1.6 hours in and I still feel like a novice, bro. It's the depth of mindfulness that you can go through and what you focus on and what you're, like, the purpose of mindfulness, bro. Honestly, facts. Okay. A theoretical framework underlying these findings posits that mindfulness training enhances cognitive engagement by modulating neural mechanisms associated with attentional and self-regulation. I mean, I think I would just dumb that down to, yeah, it helps you focus. Leading to better task-specific performance. Research in neuroscience provides further support for this framework. For example, mindfulness meditation modifies cerebral blood flow and white matter connectivity in key regions like anterior cingulate cortex and prefrontal cortex. You want this. That's your frontal lobe. Enhancing intentional control and reducing distraction, vital for high-pressure tasks like shooting. Okay, why I think this is really cool is that this is not just like a hoobity-boobity, like, do this thing and you're going to practice attention. Although, yes, that sounds like that is a key component of mindfulness, is that it does help you literally practice focusing and refocusing your mind, which is great. At the same time, what this is also saying is that it actually changes your brain structure. What? So, no hoobity boobity, actual brain structure changing in, like, important areas that you need for attention regulation and focus and all these kinds of things. So, take that to the bank, which is kind of interesting. I'll write that down. Crazy brain structure change? What? Let me where's that? Here. Oh, I just want to make sure I remember this, so if I cite this again, it's here. Because I think the thing with gamers that's really hard to convince them to, like, do mindfulness is, like, if I don't see the direct benefit, then what's the point? But I think what gamers like is, like, structural changes to their brain. So I can say, like, okay, if you actually do this, it, like, changes your brain structure, literally. Okay. Electroencephalography, EEG, studies further reveal increased beta wave power tied to focus and decreased beta wave power linked to mind wandering. Oh, that's not, I don't know what letter that is. LAX showed that a single 20-minute session improved cognitive task accuracy and reduced P3 amplitude in event-related potentials, reflecting more efficient attention allocation. All right. Not only does it change your structure, but also change different brain waves. I believe this is Delta? Delta? But this is in a 20-minute session, improved to cognitive task accuracy. Damn. And reduced amplitude in event-related potentials, reflecting more efficient attention allocation. All right, so not only you got that, but you got brainwaves. Oh, nice. That is Delta. Let's go. See? Here's the thing. If anyone got baited in high school or were like, oh, take Latin, it's gonna help you with SATs. No, it didn't. It didn't. And look, I still don't know the alphabet. I did get a C, but that is for another time to tell that story. That's neither here nor there. Such findings suggest that mindfulness practice not only enhances attention regulation, but also optimizes cognitive processing, which is particularly valuable in shooting sports, where athletes must rapidly process key visual and motor information to achieve precision. The thing I'm thinking about right now that's like different in gaming than just shooting is that you're doing a lot more in your game than just focusing on your mouse and mouse accuracy. But what I'm also thinking is that if that involves more than just shooting, think of if you actually practice this mindfulness thing, how better able you would be at regulating what you're focused on and then more quickly able to refocus on things that are important while considering the fine motor and precision needed to shoot and click heads. So I can only see this helping, honestly. Because I believe precision is a part of your game, especially if you play like a shooter. Precision is part of it, but also the minimap, also the enemy, also, I don't know, bullets flying over your head, all these kinds of things, besides just hitting the target. Okay, although studies confirm benefits like enhanced elite shooting performance and reduced tension, few explore how mindfulness meditation connects cognition and shooting performance, especially during integrated tasks rather than separate assessments. Moreover, it is also challenging to apply the findings to inexperienced athletes because earlier studies tended to concentrate on elite athletes. Bridging this gap is key to unlocking real-time insights and practicing training strategies for athletes across skill levels. Okay, another really thing I'm really interested in too is like, I wonder why there's a difference between elite traditional sport athletes, mindfulness, practice, meditation, or whatever, breathing, all these kinds of things, and why that hasn't made it over to gaming. I mean, or at the same time, like, we'll hold up people like Faker, like, oh my god, he's doing mindfulness meditation, he's like really focusing his brain, but we don't do it. Or like athletes at the collegiate or like semi-professional level or even professional level, like across sports, like they don't do it. It's really interesting. But when they do it, it's like, oh my god, this is so boring, or it's like woo-woo, or like this is like not useful. You know, it's just, or it turns into just another thing that we have to do versus actually seeing the purpose of it and then participating in it, you know? Like, it makes you more resilient to distractions. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, that's what it really seems to do. It really helps you regulate, or the purpose and the brain structures and waves that it targets is attention and focus and, like, strategy, memory, all these kinds of things. So, if you do it, it will get better. But, or I mean, just in the theory of drills and stuff, why do you go to the shooting range and click dummies? Or why do you go to deathmatch to like try to focus on your skill accuracy? It's because you are limiting the number of factors that are going into this training session, your teammates, enemy team, strategy, winning, and you're just literally practicing a singular skill, clicking dummies, clicking heads, trying to get like accuracy in that specific drill. So why wouldn't focus and practicing your focus work differently than that? Like, if you're actually sitting down and focusing on one specific thing, your breath, the count, catching a thought and letting it go, like in that controlled environment, why wouldn't it help you focus in a more chaotic one? Almost no one talks about it, or if they do, they act like it's pseudoscience. Yeah. Another gripe I have is when people try meditation and mindfulness to that's okay. I mean, I think when they do that one, I mean, that one's more of like spirituality, and I think it just comes down to the purpose of why you're meditating and what you're trying to get out of it. And I think like sometimes I mean, maybe if you want to use it as a way to connect it to a higher being, I totally can see you doing it. At the same time, if you just took the spirituality out of it, for example, like yoga, right? Yoga originally was contorting your body to get into these different positions to have a higher connection with the higher power, right? That's essentially like, well, the original yoga was meant to that. But when you do yoga now, it doesn't have to be a spiritual experience, and you can do the same like positions of yoga and to get the physical benefits of it. Thus, like, there's yoga studios everywhere, right? I mean, you can use it for a spiritual practice if that is part of your religion, sure. I mean, and then I guess if you took the religion out of it, it would be like the bastardization of yoga. Fair. At the same time, the practice of mindfulness for the purpose of increasing your attention and awareness and presence, that doesn't have to be a spiritual experience if you don't want it to be. You know what I mean? So it's just really what, like, how you use it, how you want to slice it, all those kinds of things. But I like how it's saying that if you use it for the purpose of mindfulness to increase your attention and focus, there is literal performance changes, brain wave changes that help you focus on those things. All right. Although studies confirm benefits like enhanced elite shooting performance and reduced tension. Oh, I read it already. ADHD. Let's go. Moreover, it was also challenging to apply the finding. Oh, I read it down. Okay. I finished the paragraph. That's what I did. All right. According to Kaufman et al., in order for mindfulness training to have an influence on athletes' personal development, a period of practice longer than 4 weeks is recommended. Okay. What I like about what they're saying is you can't just do it once or twice or 3 times and get an effect. You know, I guess that's like wanting to go to the gym once and then thinking that you're healthy. Maybe, and probably. At the same time, what I'm thinking is if you went to the gym consistently, you probably would see more, you probably see the results more quickly. I mean, maybe if you went to the gym once and got sore and you're like, yep, I did it, that'd be totally one thing. But if, like, you consistently go, I'd say longer than 4 weeks, you probably see yourself get buffer, or you see yourself be able to, like, run longer or whatever you want to do, lift heavier, whatever. So I like this. It's not a one-time thing. However, considering the associated time commitment, teacher shortage, and high cost, it is difficult for many athletes to maintain mindfulness training for a long period of time. I never thought of, like, going to a center to practice mindfulness. I always thought, like, it's sit down by myself. Huh. How much does that cost? How much does mindfulness... I don't know, man. We're talking about retreats and shit. I don't know, man. Okay. As a result, it is of great practical significance and a social value to develop a time-saving, economical, simple, and effective meditation training method and explore its possible influence on attention. Recently, brief mindfulness meditation (BMM) training has attracted increasing attention. BMM is an effective, convenient, safe. How could mindfulness be unsafe? Is my next question. And standardized meditation approach that can improve practitioners' mood and emotional processing. Compared with structured meditation programs such as Kabat-Zinn's traditional 8-week mindfulness-based stress reduction therapy, BMM is not restricted by time or place and has advantage of convenience and low cost and has a good application prospect. Okay, I guess that goes out to, if anyone wants to help me develop an app for free, I would love to make it a free cost or a low cost, safe, mindfulness training thing. So holla at your boy. I miss when the Headspace app wait, Headspace isn't free anymore? Bro, that's crazy. I really liked the Headspace app, especially for students when I was, like, at USC. That was something that we also promoted. You know, using the Headspace app. But you gotta pay $10 a month now. Damn. Damn. Private equity now went into Headspace. Ugh. Ruined it just like Chipotle. Yeah, none of the meditation ones are free anymore. You know what's irritating about that? I feel like mental health is health. And so, like, if you make these, like, mental health things, like, behind a paywall, like, you're essentially, like, not helping universal healthcare. Now I tell everyone to use Petite Bamboo. Ooh, I gotta look at that one. Alright. Building on this theoretical framework, the present study aimed to investigate the effects of BMM on both cognitive engagement and shooting performance. We hypothesized that one, participants in the mindfulness meditation group would show significant improvements in shooting performance compared to the control group. Yeah, let's tie it. Number two. 15-minute daily mindfulness meditation training would enhance cognitive engagement during shooting tasks, as reflected by EEG measurements of brain activity. To test these hypotheses, we integrated virtual reality. Honestly, I guess they could have... I wish they used, like, Valorant or something, you know? Human-computer interaction and why do I want to say BBL? It's not that. It's not that. It's BMM. BMM techniques to create VR simulated shooting environment. Participants' brain activity was recorded using portable EEG devices during shooting tasks before and after an 18-day intervention. Bro, this is only in 18 days, mind you. Only. Petit Bamboo has a free, not a free trial, actually free 12-day beginner course, as well as personalized non-guided meditations. Like you can add sounds, time-limited gongs, etc. Ooh, I like that. But after that, is it not free? Personally, I'm kind of torn on guided meditations. I just like breath work. I think that guided meditations are cool because it really gives you something to think about and you can just follow the voice and stuff like that. To me, I don't know if I'm a sadist or whatever, but it's ever go to the gym and run on the treadmill with earbuds or like music or like an audiobook, and then you run, and then have you forgot your earbuds one day, so you didn't have them, and you just run on the treadmill and you just go like raw dog it and just like no music, just run? Have you like noticed the difference between raw dogging it and like listening to music? I feel like I don't know if this happened. Like, my personal thing is like it's so much harder to raw dog like the treadmill if I don't have music or something, because then I'm just stuck with my mind and what it thinks of, and listening to, oh my god, I'm dying, it's so tired, why am I doing this, you know, versus like, oh, I'm listening to my music and I'm bopping to my music and that's it. I feel like that's kind of like the same thing with guided meditation versus breath work. I feel like guided meditation is nice because like you can follow it, you have something to listen to and something that guides your mind. But if you just do the breath work, that's more challenging because you have to catch yourself and then redirect yourself, or you have to be very conscious about what you're thinking about, or you have to focus on the count by yourself without like a nice engaging thing. That's just my opinion. No science based on it, just anecdotally. No, it stays free. Dang, they have daily guided meditations that you have to pay for, but that's something super cheap, like $3. Oh hell yeah. Yeah, it's meditation on hard mode, lol. Yep, I agree. That's just my personal. But if you want to step your meditation game up, try just counting and being with your own thoughts. It is a little rougher. All right. We're going to go through this really quickly because I don't think you guys really care about this part. But let's go. Okay, 60 participants. You know, the funny part is they could actually have went like this. But they said 60 participants. Let's go. University in Shanghai. Okay, they had... Ooh, here's something interesting, which is good. The people who participated in this had no prior experience for mindfulness training. So if that's you, great. This is a perfect study for you. They had no prior experiences of shooter-related training, so they're just novices to the max. They have no psychiatric or neurological disorders, no medicines that would affect their brain. Normal to or corrected to normal vision. All right, so normal vision. Okay. All right, so they picked novel. They picked people who were very novel, very new to both mindfulness meditation and shooters, and tried to pick clean participants, quote unquote. Okay, then they did some math. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Okay, they all completed the entire program. They did computer stuff with their, like, demographics. Whoa, naval medical. Okay. Okay, they passed. If there was an ethical study, good. All right. So what did they do? The experiment was conducted in a quiet room. Total 60 participants did the questionnaire, and then they were either randomly assigned to the meditation group or non-meditation group. They all did the virtual reality shooting task. Okay. So interesting. The VR task required them to hold a simulated rifle and wear virtual reality headsets. So a little bit different than like Call of Duty or Valorant. They went under 10 shooting practices to adapt to the virtual reality setting. Subsequently, they completed 5 shooting tasks while under behavioral performance and EEG data. Okay, so they had 10 practices and 5 for reals. And then their brain waves. Man, that must have been really interesting. You're like hooked up to the machine and like all the EEG wires are coming out. VR aiming is super fun. Dude, I'm really waiting for the VR, like VR. Oh, sorry, maybe not VR, AR, like esports, where like you can have like an arena and then you wear a helmet and then you got your little, I guess, AR gun and you go in and you like go into this simulated field and then fight like paintball or something. That'd be really cool. I think that'd be really, really interesting. But I think AR is gonna be augmented reality is gonna be so sick in my humble opinion, because then you're actually moving and you would actually have to train, you know, like physically versus just like physically in your game. All right. During the intervention phase, participants in the BMM group engaged in a daily. That's all they did. Daily, 15 minutes. That's it. Daily 15-minute mindfulness meditation exercise. Okay, I kind of low-key want to know if this was like at one time. Is this like guided, just breath? That'd be so hype. Like something like, oh, Sword Art Online type gaming. Yeah, but except the whole like, if you die in the game, you don't die in real life. But yes, that'd be super dope. Could you imagine fencing AR? Or like have your melee weapon AR? Oh my god, that'd be so cool. Have like your melee weapon, you have your sidearm and your like main, dude, and you're running around. Can you imagine respawn that way? Oh, or like if they took COD to that level, come on, bro, that'd be so sick. That'd be so sick. It'd be kind of low key like Starship Troopers when they're training, you know, with paintballs and stuff, but like safer. I'd assume it's probably guided meditation practice. Let's find out. Yeah, at the same time, the control group received no intervention, were asked to wait without engaging in any activities, and were not allowed to use their phones or any other smart device during this period. The intervention process lasts for 18 days. That's so funny. Okay, you guys go meditate and stuff, and you guys just like lie down. don't touch anything. Just twiddle your thumbs. After the intervention, all participants completed the virtual reality shooting task once again with the same requirements as the pretest. The participants flowed through the study is illustrated in Figure 1. Okay, here's what they did. Yay. Okay, the shooting task. The game engine Unity 3D was to develop so they developed their own game, boys. Wow. A VR shooting task integrated 6-channel EEG. The VR device used is the HTC Vive, jointly developed by HTC International Electronics. Wow, that's sick. Way to go. It provides users an immersive experience of a 3-dimensional virtual space and achieves experimental purposes with a handheld remote controller. The EEG device is produced by... Okay, whatever. And can receive 6-channel EEG data. Okay, cool. Wow. I wish we could do... Whoa! Look, this is what it looks like. Holy shit, that is cool. That is so cool. Look at this rifle. This is what I'm talking about, bro. Dang. This is lit. Okay. Right? Isn't that sick? That actually looks like a gun and stuff. Okay. Look at this. Okay, so the figure illustrates the key components of VR shooting task A. This one. I'm guessing, right? A. Participants wore a VR headset integrated with an EEG device to record brain activity during task. Oh, that's so smart. I thought they were hooked up to like a web, but it's built into the headset. Dude, check that out. Damn, that's so sick. Okay, B, participants held a simulated rifle equipped with sensors to interact with the virtual environment. Exhibit B. The virtual environment simulates a shooting range where participants performed a shooting task after an initial practice phase to familiarize themselves with the setup. Okay, so they weren't shooting at people. They're on a digital range. Wow, that range looks pretty sick, man. Look at that. That's pretty sick. Okay. That's that. The EG inside. I really wanted them to say like what the mindfulness task was, but they didn't really say it. They just said 15 minutes mindfulness task. Kind of unlucky. I really wish they had like, okay, the mindfulness task looked like this. This was like the guided meditation if it was, script, etc. But I'm just gonna assume that it was breathing then. Here you go. Maybe we'll say here. This part, no, that was just an example, I think. They had no experience in these things, right? They had no prior experience of mindfulness related training in these types of things. So they had like none. But I'm not sure if that was the actual thing, like this thing. This 15-minute mindfulness meditation exercise. Like, what is this 15-minute mindfulness meditation exercise? Yeah. So I see. Thank you for checking me. Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. It was just in the context of they've never done any type of mindfulness or presence-based thing. Because I mean, Tai Chi, that is all mindfulness. Have you tried it? It is so boring, just slow like. I tried to do it. I really tried to do Tai Chi. Like I was like in graduate school, like you know what? I'm gonna try to take on Tai Chi and like get really in tune with. Bro, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Okay, maybe it's here. The interventions were single blind in design. The participants did not know the purpose of the experiment. Go do the mindfulness thing. Go. The BMM program used in this study was designed by a facilitator with more than 10 years of experience and training in meditation. Damn. The BMM was produced based on the core concepts of mindfulness and Buddhism. Oh, there you go. Vipassana. I nailed it. Breath meditation combined with knowledge gained from our practical experience and scientific reports on meditation. Previous research has proven that BMM is an effective, convenient, safe, and standard meditation approach. Oh, I guess they use just the BMM training protocol, which I guess we can find online. Yes, breathing meditations, I believe. So I was in Shaolin Kung Fu for a year as a kid, and we would do Tai Chi every class for like 10 to 15 minutes. Dude, I want to see some flips and stuff from you, Dr. Jeeves. Yeah, I'm thinking breathing meditations. During BMM training, participants followed audio instructions to practice their meditation skills. The audio instructions comprised 1 minute of guided preparation and 15 minutes of mindfulness meditation training. Participants were instructed to close their eyes, relax, and focus on the flow of their breath. Okay, yes, it was breath training. They were told to notice and acknowledge the thoughts that arise passively and let them go by bringing their attention back to the breath. That's the key. That is the key right here. Yes. Yes. That is it. I mean, yes, the whole form of like flow and closing your eyes and stuff, but this is the key here. Because people are like, oh, how do you practice mindfulness? And like, what do you do? That is it. Right here. All you do in mindfulness when you're trying to like count and breathe, like in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2. For example, if this is box breath or box breathing, and you're like, I'm kind of hungry. Once you have the, I'm kind of hungry, and you kind of distracted yourself from the numbers of the breath or the breathing or the counting or whatever, the skill is, I said that, or I noticed that I'm thinking about being hungry. Okay, I'm going to let that go and let me refocus on the breath. That's it, without judgment of like, oh my God, I'm so stupid, I'm doing it again. No. It is literally, I've noticed that I'm thinking about this thing. I'm going to catch it and I'm going to redirect it and let it go. I'm not going to think about that and redirect it on my breath. That is the entire practice of mindfulness, in my opinion. Being aware of your thought, being able to catch it, non-judgment about that you got distracted, acknowledging that you got distracted, and then letting go that thought and then refocusing on your breath. That's the entire mindfulness process. Okay, so breathing meditations, Breathing meditation, Saffron in the present on purpose without judgment. Love mindfulness. Yes, sir. What's up, Saffron? I was like, wait, why, Saffron? Why is your name pink? That threw me off. It's close to white. Yes, in the present, on purpose, without judgment, love mindfulness. Yes, it literally is just that practice. Because how many times in your game do you get distracted by some other thoughts? Oh my god, I was so stupid there. And then you get stuck on the how stupid were you? Or, oh my god, that was so dumb, I shouldn't have died there. And then you get stuck on dying there, right? The mindfulness practice of that one would be like, yes, that was stupid. I acknowledge that was dumb. I'm going to catch that thought. I'm going to redirect it on what I want to do next round. Or, since that was dumb, or, okay, I thought that was dumb. I died there. I accept that. I'm going to let that go. And now I'm going to refocus on holding the angle or getting my next kill or recovering to where I want to be in this game. That's the practice. It's the same thing. You're just practicing it in a more controlled environment. All right, so then they did ANOVAs to get some stats in here. Yay. Okay, the results. Let's do this. We're making great time, I think. Let me double check. Let me double check my time. Oh, we're killing it. We have so much good time. Okay. All right. The important demographics of the participants are presented in Table 1. The BMM group, and control group demonstrated no significant difference in age, vision, educational background, familiarity with virtual reality, and familiarity with shooting games. Okay, so all novices. Good. Indicating that the groups were demographically comparable. To ensure the comparability of these two groups before the intervention, independent sample t-tests also conducted to examine baseline differences in cognitive engagement. Cool. Wow, they're all young. They're all 23. Or around 23. I don't know what the gender. How is that more than one? Good. Okay. Okay, where's this? Control group, pre-group. Whoa, a tighter spread. Interesting. Shooting performance is higher in general. Look at that. Pre. And they... Well, they actually got junker. Lol. That's funny. That's kind of funny. So this is your pre... I'm just looking at this, right? Like, if this is shooting performance, and this is your pre-group, this is where they were, around, like, what? 20... Let's call that 27. We'll call this one, like, 27.5. We'll call this one 25. So their accuracy actually went down. And then this one went up by a lot. Let's call this like 31. That's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts. Okay. All right, this is what you want, right? Anchovia demonstrated a statistically significant enhancement in shooting performance for the BMM group. Post-hoc analysis with Bonfiori adjustments showed that after the intervention, the BMM group scored 6.56 points higher than the control group. Damn, that's a huge gap, bro. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. That's nuts. Just after 15 minutes, dude. 15 minutes a day can give you that much higher performance. Why aren't we all doing it? According to this study. Why aren't we doing that? Okay, maybe if you did it for shorter, maybe the jump wouldn't have been this high. Ooh. Right? Maybe the jump would not have been this high for 15 minutes, but maybe just to a minute, you'd probably even see improvements. You know what I mean? That's just nuts. That's a big jump, though. That is a big jump. The effect size suggests a moderate impact, while the CI indicates the improvement is reliability above 0, reinforcing BMM's potential as a training tool for novices. Given that a 6.56 point increase could be substantial in competitive shooting, these findings highlight the potential benefits of BMM training for performance enhancement. Yes, sir. Honestly, I think the only thing that I would like think is hard for novices in general is like 15 minutes does sound like a lot of time. You know, like 15 minutes is a lot of time. Because, hey, honestly, I'm not going to lie. One time when I was going to the University of Oregon, there was like a $300 study. And at the time, I still am a poor college student. And I remember that we could sign up for these like psychological tests and get paid like $10 or $20 an hour, which is massive when you're like a college student. And so I remember there was one for $300 for like 3 weeks, and you would have to do like this thing. Bro, I'd fall asleep every single time. But, all I'm saying is that maybe 15 minutes is too long, and I'd be really interested to see the different. Like another study that would be really cool after this is if they scaled it from like a control group with 0, 5, 10, and 15 minutes. Then I would want to see the jumps from improvement, because my guess would be that the longer you do it, the better your mindfulness. Oh, sorry. The longer periods of time you train in mindfulness, the better your results. But what I'd also be really interested in is is it also scale with time? So, for example, is 5 minutes of mindfulness the leap in your performance? Wouldn't it be as high as 15 minutes? Or is there like a sweet spot for people or yourself? You know, because I understand like everyone is different. So that's just, I'm just thinking out the box right now. But damn, that's a lot. That is a huge jump. Okay. Cognitive engagement. The ANCO results revealed significant differences in cognitive enhancement between the BMM group and control group in 3 electrode sites located in the left frontal region. Specifically, the BMM group showed significantly higher cognitive engagement compared to the control group. So, not just shooting accuracy, but also brain function, which is kind of cool if you think about it. Again, what is really cool is that kind of also doubles down on the actual brain structures that also doubles down on how your brain structures actually change and then change the brain waves and activities. So it's not just a woo-woo higher percentage that's crazy, but it's also changing your brain. Not in the positive way, right? Okay. Post hoc analysis with Bernofrioni adjustments further indicate that after the intervention, the BMM group scored 0.019 heights higher than the control group. Okay. Whoa. 0.02 points higher at AF7. I really think these are just points on your brain, or like where the electrodes went. What would be really cool is if they had this, and then they showed you like, all right, this is where it was on your brain. Okay, these findings suggest that BMM intervention may enhance cognitive engagement in the left frontal cortex, a region often associated with attention and executive function. So, what that also means to me is that if you have ADHD, like yours truly, it is even more imperative, more critical, more important for us to do this, because where is our dysfunction if you have ADHD? Frontal lobe. More specifically, like I would also think left frontal here, if that's where attention and regulation and focus goes, that's probably busted. Or maybe not work as good as quote-unquote neurotypical people. So if that's true, this is something that could help. Okay, which makes me launch off to my next little rant. Okay, the gripe I have as a psychologist, which is kind of sometimes it's very frustrating for me, is when people say like, I have depression, or I am depressed, I am anxious, I am ADHD, or whatever. Okay, you ascribe to this label, but then what do you do with it? Do you say, okay, I have ADHD, and because I have ADHD, I cannot do things because of it, or I am limited in what I can do because my attention and my frontal lobes are just busted. Unlucky genetic role, that's just how I am. Or do you say, okay, I know that I act this way, I know that I do things a little bit differently, and because I know that I have this label, I can increase my skills by doing things that other people may not do, or because there are skills that I can grow in, I can do things even though I don't have ADHD, even though I have ADHD, or I can do things to increase my ability to do things despite having ADHD. This shows me, like, this statement right here. Where is it? Let me highlight it. These findings suggest that BMM intervention may enhance cognitive engagement in the left frontal cortex, a region often associated with attention and executive function. This sentence right here makes me believe that you now have an intervention, a skill, a process you can practice to increase your attention and focus if you have ADHD or not. So it's not just a unlucky roll of the genetics, but if you did roll unlucky with your genetics, there are things you can do to increase that function that is an unlucky roll. Right? There are things that you can do to boost that skill, to add more skill points into it versus being like, it's just kind of busted. If you want to, I guess is the other caveat. Unfortunately, I rolled a natural 1 for attention during character creation. I'm gonna need the link to this study. I got you, baby. Saffron, for you though, for you, if you, here's the best part, you can, even though you got a natural 1, you can definitely put more points into it by doing these types of skills. That's what I'm getting at, you know? Because, dude, I'm like at a natural -5, and there are things that we can do, therapy, medication, mindfulness, that help us, you know, put points into it. So it's not a doomer. It's not a doomer. That's my point. However, no significant differences were found between the BMM and control groups in the right frontal region. Unlucky. The effect sizes for these sites were small, indicating that the intervention had minimal or no measurable impact on cognitive engagement in these areas. And you know what? I'll take left over right. I'll take left over right. Fine. Overall, these results highlight a lateralized effect of the BMM intervention with significant improvements in cognitive engagement observed in the left frontal lobe, whereas the right frontal cortex showed no significant changes. This lateralization aligns with previous findings suggesting that the left frontal lobe plays a dominant role in cognitive control and attentional processes. The observed effect sizes indicate a moderate practical impact, meaning that while the differences are significantly oh my gosh, that's what I need to do. While the differences are statistically significant, they're also meaningful in the context of cognitive training interventions. Yes. Okay, so basically what they're saying is, like, the study proved what they're looking for, that the mindfulness intervention helped in the area of focus, attention, etc. So it kind of proved their hypothesis. This is fascinating. Okay? Why? I mean, I haven't got to the end of this yet, but why I think this is fascinating is it proves here is a way to practice mindfulness for this much time, over this much time, to get this result. And not only to get that result, but also to get the area, like results in that specific area that control attention, memory, focus, etc. That's nuts. Because, okay, why am I freaking out is, like, this study, to me, shows the action of performance. It shows that mindfulness changes your brain structure, which then changes your brain waves to affect your performance or ability to regulate your attention and focus. So, so this is cool because it also shows you that you can increase your focus and intention with practice, and you're not just unlucky, which I love. And I'm gonna point to this study every single time. We're like, I can't do it, I have ADHD. It's like, no, read the study. The study shows you that you can change that. You can work on that. Is it shitty? Yes. Is it boring? Probably. And if you do the shitty, boring thing, you will increase your attention and your focus over time. Who would have thought? But I just need to play games. Yes, you can play games to increase your focus and attention. For sure. I believe that. At the same time, it's the same as going to the practice range or playing DM to sharpen your skill. Why? It's in a more controlled environment. In the same way, you can practice your attention, or you can practice focusing in a controlled environment and then translate that into a higher stress environment, like your game in ranked. What an in-depth study. I agree, dude. This was great. Super valuable and relatable data. Yeah, dude. I didn't, honestly, when I picked this study, I was like, it's with VR. I don't know if it's gonna be like on the nose. And then everybody's like, yep, this is it. This is the bee's knees. All right. This study demonstrates that a brief 18-day meditation training can effectively enhance shooting performance in a virtual reality environment. This improvement in performance is further supported by neurophysiological data showing a higher beta ratio during the shooting task in the meditation group compared to the control group, indicating a greater level of cognitive engagement. Okay. All right. Brief mindfulness meditation improves shooting performance. We observed that BMM training significantly enhanced shooting performance in male novice athletes, with participants in the BMM group achieving higher scores than those in the control group after 18 days. Just 18 days, dude. That's kind of nuts. Getting that much performance in 18 days? That's kind of bananas. That's kind of bananas. That's short in, like, reality time. 18 days? That's what, 2 weeks and some change? Shoot. Okay. This improvement aligns with previous research showing that mindfulness training enhances precision in tasks requiring focus and accuracy, such as shooting and dart throwing. Yeah. When I read this, it's a little irking because I worked with a darts thrower before, or a dart player, and he didn't want to do mindfulness. I was like, dude, this is really going to help you. And he's like, nah, I don't want to do it. I'm like, here's the data. Here's the freaking data. Anyway. Importantly, while most studies have focused on elite athletes, our findings suggest that mindfulness benefits extend to novice participants, helping them develop fundamental skills. I might even say that it might help novice players, even more than professionals. Why? Because the gap is probably higher, or the gains you can make will probably be bigger than professionals. That's huge. I like that. All right. Mindfulness encompasses various techniques, including body scan meditation, loving kindness meditation, mindfulness-based stress reduction, and mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. While longer interventions, MBSR, this one, have been found to improve performance on precision-based sports, they often require significant time commitments, limiting their accessibility. In contrast, BMM, as a brief and efficient intervention, significantly improves shooting performance within just 18 days, suggesting that short-term mindfulness practice can rapidly enhance attention and minimize distractions in high-precision tasks. And it's like free. It's literally my guess, and I can research this afterwards. I feel like this is just like 15 minutes of box breathing. That's it. Or like some type of breath work. That's it. Unlike these full-on interventions. In 18 days. Which is kind of nuts. I think honestly, another part of that probably helps your performance is you being consistent for 18 days doing the thing, So probably consistency, that's like an added benefit of this practice or this intervention. Yeah, it's like getting newbie gains lifting for the first time for someone who's been reaching their peak and trying to get marginal. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. I really feel like if you were a novice practicing this mindfulness stuff, you probably get more because of exactly that gym thing. Like like when you go from like bronze or iron to like gold, like that speed and that leap versus like going from gold to like diamond or like whatever, All right. Furthermore, while our study focused on shooting, the benefits of BMM may extend to other precision-demanding fields, like fields such as esports, military training, and surgery. Bro, sometimes I feel like I'm doing surgery while playing esports. In professional gaming, sustained attention and rapid decision making are critical, and BMM may help players maintain focus during high pressure situations. Similarly, military personnel and law enforcement officers who rely on precision shooting and quick responses could benefit from incorporating short mindfulness sessions into training to improve cognitive control and accuracy. Yeah, that might be good too. Okay, we're almost done. All right, sick. Mindfulness meditation enhances left brain cognitive enhancements during shooting. Our study found that BMM significantly increases the beta, alpha plus theta, ratio in the left frontal lobe during shooting tasks, with the meditation group showing a notably higher ratio than the control group. Let's just highlight this bad boy. Since beta waves are associated with active thinking and attention control, while alpha and theta waves reflect more relaxed and less focused states, a higher beta over alpha plus theta ratio suggests greater cognitive enhancement. Greater in cognitive engagement. This implies that BMM may help individuals maintain focus and process task-relevant information more efficiently, which is crucial for precision-demanding activities. Nice. Further analysis showed that this effect was pronounced in, these are just locations of the thing that they put on their head, AF3, AF7, and FP1, whereas no significant changes were observed in the right frontal, so these numbers. Again, those are just the electrodes inside of the thing. Okay, this suggests that BMM primarily enhances cognitive processes related to goal-directed attention and decision-making, which are predominantly left lateralized. Also, maybe if you are left-handed, it'd be flipped. Rather than emotional regulation, which is more associated with right frontal lobe. Okay. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. You got the mindfulness maybe better at the attention and decision-making versus the how you feel about it. Okay, I mean, fair. Both are important, bar none. Both are important, but goal-directed, mindfulness, attention regulation. But at the same time, that's what they're training the thing for, right? They weren't training it for emotion regulation. They're training it for, like, can you focus? I wonder if they would have seen more changes to the right frontal lobe on a much longer study, like 3 to 6 months. Probably. You know, another thing I'm thinking about is they may have seen differences in right frontal lobe if the study was aimed at reducing or addressing their emotional states. You know, like, oh, I'm feeling tilted. Okay, we're going to do this and bring you back down to baseline. I think if it had that purpose of addressing the emotions, probably, because that's what you're actually practicing, versus what they're actually practicing in this study was just their shooting accuracy and precision. So, the purpose was different. All right. These findings have important practical implications beyond shooting sports. In competitive gaming, esports, where sustained attention, rapid decision-making, and fine motor control are critical, BMM could help players maintain cognitive sharpness and reduce distractions during high-pressure matches. Similarly, in military and law enforcement settings, where precision and shooting and a quick high stakes are required, I feel like I read that. Yes. The ability to stay highly focused under pressure is essential in these fields, and brief mindfulness exercises could be integrated into training programs to enhance performance without requiring significant time commitment. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Yes. But remember, we're still talking just about attention, not how you feel. Because I guess you're going to shift, if you could do this, the theory, I guess, would be your ability to switch from this, like, switch your focus from what's in front of you instead of the pressure and what the pressure is doing to you. So maybe from that perspective, the attention regulation would help the emotion regulation because you're not focused on the emotions. Instead, you're just focused on the task at hand. Maybe that's how I translate it. Yeah, there probably wasn't much emotion to regulate when they're shooting targets. Yeah. And they're novices, so this is just like, wee, we're having fun with this equipment. We're not like, oh my god. If you introduce pressure, like if you hit X amount of percentage, you get paid more, or you get paid if you hit X amount, then you are putting additional emotional pressure on it. Or like if you, this is unethical, you can do this study, but if you score X amount in this percentage range, you get an A in this class. Okay, now we're doing emotion regulation, right? But that wasn't part of it because they're just novices. Okay, compared to long-term mindfulness programs like 8-week MBSR, which have been shown to induce structural changes to the brain, our 18-day intervention primarily led to functional improvements. Hey, you know what? We got function, but I guess if you do it for longer periods of times, you are now changing form of your brain. While these short-term gains in cognitive engagement and shooting performance are promising, it remains unclear whether such a brief intervention can produce long-term neural adaptations. I mean, if it sounds like if you really want, like they're now saying like, do you want to change your brain or are you looking for performance? Okay, additionally, as participants in the BMM group have experienced performance improvements, placebo effects cannot be entirely ruled out. Future research should explore whether extending the training duration enhances structural brain changes and include additional control conditions to distinguish mindfulness specific effects from expectancy bias. Okay. All right, gotta go. But GG's everyone. W study here. Love this. All right, man. Have fun at work. See you next Monday, Dr. Jeeps. Stronger mental wins, baby. Absolutely. All right, in summary, our findings suggest that BM enhances cognitive engagement by strengthening left frontal brain activity, which is crucial for attention control and precision performance. This provides a practical and time-efficient approach for improving focus in precision-demanding fields such as sports, gaming, and military training. All right, I'm gonna do some conclusions. How's that? We're gonna end with some conclusions. All right, so let me all right, so this study. This is my takeaways. These are my takeaways. Come on. Come on, do something. All right, we got the takeaways, right? Which is pretty interesting. Okay, so what we have here is a 15-minute breath-focused intervention, a mindfulness intervention. Okay, so if you participate in 15-minute breath-focused mindfulness, you will, okay, these are the benefits. Okay, increase focus, right? Let's make sure we are quoting them correctly, because I don't want to give false information. Dude, this leap in itself was insane. Insane. Okay. All right, so you have increased focus, accuracy. Okay. Precision in tasks. Okay. Okay, precision in tasks. Precision in tasks, increased focus. And there was one more, yeah? Accuracy. Nailed it. Okay. Not only do you get that, but this is proven. This is increase in, what was that? Brainwave? Beta over alpha theta, okay? Beta over alpha plus theta brainwaves equals What does this equal? Cognitive. Okay. Okay. That's the crazy part. Not only does it do this, but the focus actually is measured in brainwaves. So it's not just like, oh, I'm focusing better. No, no, no. This is actually based on brainwaves. Okay. Which is insane. Over 15 weeks? 18 days. Sorry. Over 18 days. Okay, maybe your turn. That is the craziest part to me here. This is over 18 days. If you just spent 15 minutes or less for 18 days, focus on your breath and doing this type of work, you would statistically get these benefits. More precision, more focus, more accuracy, more focus brain waves on the task at hand, which is kind of bananas. But why I also like this study and why I think this study is even more valuable than these things is this. May not proves. May I use the word suggests. Oh, maybe before that. Maybe before that, I have to go. This also says improved in left frontal lobes. So it's actually a place in your brain too, like where the attention is. So it's localized. All right, localized gains. Going back to it though, why I think this study is even more important is because it suggests this is it for me. Boom, right here. What I love about this study is that it suggests that attention and focus can be improved with focused effort and time, or intentional effort and time that you put into practicing your attention and focus. And this tells me that attention is a skill. Focus is a skill. It's not just something you're born with. It's just not something you just have or, get over time, but it can also be increased by doing specific things if you want to. So again, if you say that you have ADHD and you can't do it, or maybe it's more of I have ADHD and it's more challenging for me to do it, yes. But if that's you and you're more impulsive or you lose focus or you focus on the wrong things, you can train it. But here's the thing. From that perspective, we flip it on its head. What have you been focusing or what have you been training your brain to focus on? For example, if you're the type of gamer that gets stuck in the negative emotions, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, the aw mans, this is so hard. Okay, have you also been focusing on those things so it's easier for your brain to find those things and get stuck on them? Or have you been focused on being aware of that thought, non-judgment, catching it, releasing it, redirecting it to something else, focusing on how to improve your game, focusing on how to improve your position, focusing on what is in front of you and how to solve the puzzle the best way you can? Because if attention's a skill, that also means that you are training it to do something. So what are you training your brain to focus on? What are you training your brain to find? And then does it do that consistently? Does it get stuck there consistently? Either in the how to solve the problems or how the problems are going to kill you. But it's a skill. I want to keep reiterating that because sometimes it's hard for me to find studies or things that point to be like, that's a skill versus no, I'm born with it or not. Very growth mindset-y, fixed mindset-y. But I love that I have an article finally I can point to be like, yo, listen, your attention is your skill. There's things that you can do by practicing mindfulness or meditation or whatever that can actually increase your ability to work on that muscle, to focus on what you want it to focus on, which is awesome. And only in 18 days, 15 minutes, 18 minutes a day, which is insane. Or, dude, 10 minutes a day. Or if you want to break that up, 3 5-minute sessions throughout the day. And your intention and focus and brain waves and brain structures could improve. Bananas. But yeah, I guess for you guys in the chat, what makes mindfulness difficult for you, besides it being boring? Fair. I'll give you that. It is boring. AF. But hey, so is the practice range. So is VOD review. So is, I don't know, things that you think are boring, but you do them. Why? Because you think and know that's going to help you. So here's some evidence from this article that will help you know that this mindfulness stuff will help you too. Woo! That was fun. That was a lot of data. A lot of things I can take to the bank. But yeah, if this is your first time, welcome to the stream. I hope you got some things. If you want to learn more about me or maybe catch this VOD later on, please give me a follow on the YouTubes or the Instagrams or the TikToks. You'll see some clips there. But if not, I'll see you next week, Monday at 12-ish. I'm trying to do this again, maybe another article. Dr. Jeebs has sent me down a mindfulness and gaming things. I have some more articles there. Or if there's other things that you guys are interested in gaming, esports, performance, whatever, let me know so I can do some more research for you and maybe find an article and riff off of it. But please be safe. Please be chill. And I'll see you then. Pieces. Oh, if you want to work with me or you want more information, please visit my website, psychsensei.com. There you can fill out a free consultation form and you and I can sit down and see what's kind of going on and work towards your win condition today. And also, I'd like to post stuff there too. So please be safe. Please be warm. Give your friends a hug. Go win your games. Remember, stronger mental wins. And I'll see you guys next week, Monday at 12. All right, friends. Take it easy. Pieces. Love ya. Bye! Boop. Oh, shout out to Dr. Jeeps. Thanks for coming on by and talking stories. And also, shout out to my friend, Saffron. And shout out to my new follower, Fafira. Nailed it. Nailed it. See you guys later.